At the jump circle, JoJo Tugler, and the tip is controlled as he fights with Fields, and Houston will have it to start things off wearing the white uniforms tonight. Kip Kippinger, Doug Sermons, and Brett Smith are the Final Four laden officiating crew of this game. Looking to take a three and a block. That's what they thought Manuel Sharp had, but on the deflection, Cougars maintain it. Back out to Sharp, left side, his first three. Another offensive rebound and tap out. Cougars not afraid to keep drives alive when it comes to the offensive glass.
Yeah, that is their brand of basketball. And if you're not hitting the glass, you're not going to be in the game for long. Shot clock is under 10. A floater off the back heel, no. And a second try and more opportunities. Boy, the possession has stayed with the Cougars for 40 seconds. On the baseline, and finally a payoff. That comes from the hands of L.J. Cryer.
Matt, that's a guard's dream. You know, you got your big guys in there working the glass. Didn't take JoJo long to tally up some rebounds. One of my fun ones, those are the Tyson Chandler tip outs. You don't have control, but you're able to keep a fingertip on the ball and keeping things alive.
Ryan, you see the starting lineup there. That's the lineup they've had all 8 games, and there's an early turnover. On the takeaway, the reverse layup, no. The tap up on the second try. They're going to call a basket interference. So good work that time by Emmanuel Sharp to get the steal at midcourt, unable to finish. And that's already another deflection for the Houston Cougars. And that's one thing you've been keeping a lot of eyes on here so far tonight, is how many passes are being intercepted and how many times the ball is up in play.
Big turnover game, and not just for Houston. Troy turns you over. They're going to do a lot of different things defensively. They want to take you out of your initial offense. So, hey, the key tonight, take care of the basketball for both sides and box out.
We've got a pair of brothers, Rigsby. Miles is the sophomore and the highly recruited young man. Mark is his older brother, a junior college transfer from Tyler Junior College. Troy having a tough time getting into their set. Wide open three-point look off the heel is no good off the hands of Marcus Rigsby, who shoots at 38% from 3. And we've got a foul coming up against Houston. The score indicated 4-0, but it was actually 2-0 because they were calling an offensive basket interference against Houston. But that just shows you again, they're always attacking at the rim.
You see Coach Sampson there, and you know his frustration. He knows you're going to hit the offensive glass, but they were out rebounded, you know, so they have to get in there, and you know, maybe it's the accountability for the guards, but they got to come up with some big rebounds.
And that ball is blocked out of bounds. A layup attempt for Jackson Fields. He's a Houston kid, went to Missouri City's Elkins High School.
And the big challenge for Troy is match the physicality of the Cougs. Go pound for pound. Don't get pushed around. Be strong with the basketball.
And don't turn the ball over. That's been a huge problem for them. They're giving up more than 17 turnovers a game. They forced 15. But one of the things that Scott Cross told us earlier today was they've got to maintain possession. They cannot give U of H some free looks.
Yeah, right now Troy giveth and they taketh in terms of turnovers.
Uzan to the top of the arc for Tugler. Second game in the lineup for him. He replaced Javier Francis in the starting 5. To the baseline again, a floater that does the same spot, an air ball. Shot clock does not reset. Uzan with a long kick out for a 3 off the heel. And Uzan nearly had it. Now it's a 2-on-1 break. Down the heart of the lane, coming up a short on the layup try for Miles Rigsby. He was ill-afraid, Ryan, to really attack the basket against the one Houston defender.
Yeah, he wasn't, but good job there. Getting back, he goes vertical, stays straight up and down, and even more importantly, doesn't foul. And, you know, just sometimes you play solid and ends up paying off there for Houston. But again, the big key is defensive rebounds. That's where Houston was beat, and Coach Sampson kind of had enough. So, you know, they had some spirited practices focusing on those defensive rebounds.
No surprise we played almost 2.5 minutes, and we're looking at a 2-0 score.
And, you know, tonight would be full of turnovers and energy and rebounds.
Yeah. They're going to look to reset the shot clock, and it has been appropriately set to 20. The center has come out to get it. That is Travis Dowd, averaging 8 points a game for them. Shot clock down to 10 seconds. Attacking the lane again. This time another deflection. Rigsby could not get anything on it. And back come the Cougars.
Keep an eye on JoJo. He's wincing down there after that blocked shot. Seems okay, but he's still, I don't know if it's a knee bothering him, and that could be huge.
Sharp to Roberts, a floater, that's good in front of the free throw line. The Cougars have the first 2 baskets of this game.
Beautiful touch inside for Roberts, and that's that little mid-post area. We call that the pocket, where you see Roberts working.
Roberts had 12 points in the victory against Butler a few days back here inside the Fortuna Center.
Hey man, JoJo's hurting, and keep an eye on that. It's a team that's going to be needing him down the stretch.
Dowd had it stripped, and Fields did as well. Another turnover. Here comes Uzan and the Cougars. We'll see Troy switch up defensively a lot. They'll go zone, man-to-man, frequently. Layup drill, missed on the offensive rebound. Tugler, second try. Kicking it back out. Sharp goes inside the arc to mid-range, and it's 6-0 Houston.
Again, Houston owning the glass. Those multiple efforts, you know, obviously you don't want to see the missed shots or layups, but you know what? You give yourself a chance.
Troy so far 0 for 4 from the floor. They've taken 1 3-point try. We are approaching 4 minutes gone by, and they have yet to score. Pump fake, turning, Rigsby cut off at the elbow. Cross court to his brother. Deep three off the heel. Offensive rebound and putback. There's one. Thomas Dowd taking a page out of the U of H playbook.
He leads Troy in rebounding, and that's the frustration there. And here's the one thing that Coach Sampson really challenges. Hey, get out, pressure the basketball, and then get back in for rebounds.
Floater missed inside 10 feet. Got to get those makes for Houston to make this an easier game for them. Cougars, by the way, have taken already 12 shots compared to just 6 for Troy. They are 3 of 12 for the floor.
Well, here's the thing with Kelvin Sampson. He can live with the missed shot. He can't live with missed effort. And we've seen that here, and it may not be the prettiest brand of basketball, but that's why Houston's been successful.
Miles Rigsby gets it by Tugler. Onto the baseline. Shot clock at 1. Side rim miss. That's good 30 seconds of defense for the Houston Cougars. Cougar bench wants them to run. L.J. Cryer to his right for Sharp. Double pumps, foul, back heel miss. Free throws coming up when we come back. 2 baskets in the early going for the Houston Cougars. Again, 9 misses in 12 tries. Roberts with a floater, nicely done. Houston up by 4 with 14:51 remaining. First half play from inside Fortuna Center. It's a 6-2 lead for the Houston Cougars. 14:51 remaining in this first half. The Trojans were predicted to finish 3rd in the Sun Belt Conference. They want more than that. And with that, here's Vanessa Richardson.
Yeah, the motto for this Troy basketball team has become street dogs. That is what their head coach said. That's the mentality they need to have, and they went so far, Matt and Ryan, as to get these shirts with a street dog on them. And the concept, as you can imagine, is just playing gritty basketball, playing all out on defense. It's really important to these guys. Really enjoyed our chat with Coach this morning.
85 wins and 79 losses for Coach Cross. I mentioned a UT Arlington player, longtime assistant coach, spent a year at TCU before ultimately taking over the position here at Troy. Sun Belt Conference for them. And we mentioned at the top of our broadcast, they're not afraid to play anybody. You've got some guarantee games they need to finish off with. And playing Arkansas and Oregon for non-conference competition certainly gets you ready for Sun Belt Conference play.
It does, and you know, those are the games that build character. And again, make no mistake, they get after you. They pressure the basketball. They may be a little outmanned here tonight, but you know, there's nothing easy for Coach Kelvin Sampson. We see him right there, and he knows it. He's got a lot of respect for Troy. These are the games they call them trap games, Matty.
Cooper Campbell, backup wing, starts this set for the Trojans. The free throw is up and good for Emmanuel Sharp. Had 16 points against Butler over the weekend, including 4 3-pointers, making 86% of his free throws. Cougars as a group make 75%. Free throws are up and in. And Terrence Arsenault, who was really good against the Bulldogs over the weekend, had 14 steps in, averaging 9 points a game. First sub for the Cougars.
Yeah, he's got great size. Pretty good handle.
And a reverse layup is coming up, and that's on the way and in. Nicely done that time by Tayton Connerway. Preseason second team in the Sun Belt Conference, averaging 10 points and 5 assists per contest. And the Cougar lead is cut to 4 at 8-4. Philo Suzanne brings it across midcourt. Trying to set a screen was Francis in the lineup for the first time as well. Straight on three-pointer for Cryer. That looks pure, and it is. 36% from three for a young man averaging 15 points per game. And the Cougar lead is 7.
Great screen there from Francis, but even better, you see how Cryer just stayed in his shot. Little single-double action there for Kelvin Sampson.
Campbell gets a screen from Bellamy, who's in the lineup for the first time here for Troy.
Matt, look how extended the offense of Troy is, and that's due to the pressure of Houston.
Exceptional length. All the passing lanes look guarded. Shot clock under a second. Not going to happen. There's going to be another 30-second violation.
And there you go. You know, say that ball pressure can make up for a multitude of sins or mistakes, and you see that there. Troy missing the shot clock.
It's already 4 turnovers, Ryan. I know Coach Cross was really concerned about that.
Yeah, well, again, it's the physicality. You know, you've got to attack Houston. If they're able to pressure you so far out, it ends up presenting problems. And see a little zone trap here from Troy themselves.
Yeah, the shot clock for the Cougars down to 10. Uzan still out near midcourt. Tries to get by one defender. Now under 5. They got to put something up quickly. Francis with a contested 3 off the front rim. And it's going to trickle out of bounds to the Troy bench. That's nice work there by the Trojan defense.
It was, and if Coach Cross could draw it up, that's exactly how. You see just side-to-side passes, nothing attacking downhill there for Houston. And again, if they don't attack, guess what? They don't get in rebounding position. So for Houston, they want to attack, get downhill. But great job there from Coach Cross and Troy.
Cougars going deep to the bench early on. Malik Wilson has stepped in. Looks like a little aggravation right now from the Cougars sideline. Not getting that offense that last time down the floor. Campbell to Fields. Campbell can't get beyond the top of the arc. He is stuck. Into the low block. It's Rigsby. Turns, twist, shot clock at 7. Another deflection. Boy, they're all over the place. Another grabbed rebound, that time by Javier Francis.
Great discipline by Arsenal, staying down on those multiple moves from Rigsby.
Unable to finish that time down the floor is Francis, and back comes Troy. Trojans down 7 to a baseline kick out off the heel. Troy as a collective group shoots pretty well from three-point range. 33%. And the side out of bounds, and possession will stay with the University of Houston.
Hey, man, I know it doesn't look like much. You see the frustration from Coach Sampson,
yeah.
But, you know, good minutes here from the second unit of Troy. I thought they kind of settled into this ball game.
Thomas Dowd, the starting power forward, will assume the 5 spot. Bellamy is out there as well. He's also one of their backup bigs. Troy again really defending this passing lanes well. Not finding a lot of avenues as Malik Wilson has it left side ankle. Turned back at the elbow to Arsenault, and the shot clock once again under 10. We have seen lots of long possessions on both teams, and that's off the hands. That's a turnover. Javier Francis right through his pair of hands there.
I'm telling you, Troy is starting to turn things up defensively, and they're pushing Houston further and further out. And you see these high hands, you see the hesitation, and against teams that kind of play the junk defenses, they'll switch it up, they'll trap. You just got to play your man offense and just be a basketball player. Attack, play basketball, find the open man, and you know there's no real set plays tonight in a game like this.
Victor Valdez, one of the forwards in the lineup, along with Campbell as part of that second-tier group you were talking about. Rigsby trying to get past the defender and Wilson. Turns, spins back. Again, the shot clock under a second. That one goes off in time. That's off the back iron. And the tip rebound from Arsenault into the hands of Houston and Malik Wilson. Back to Arsenault. He wants to push. He wants to get by those Troy defenders. Can he do so? To the window he goes. That's going to be an and one. And finally, Ryan Hollins, the Cougars getting that paint with relative ease.
Chad, I'm telling you, Arsenault is a talented scorer. He's got excellent size, and you see the little dipsy-do finish there.
We've had 5 field goals in the game so far. That's it for Houston. And right now their lead is 9 as Troy struggles in the first half. Houston Cougars have a 9-point lead despite just 33% from the floor. Part of that is because the Trojan defense has been very complex early on. In fact, they have forced their opponents into committing double-digit turnovers in every game this season. We're seeing a little bit of that so far this first half.
Yeah, and Houston's going to have to figure things out. I think they've been too passive floating around the perimeter, but it's tough because one thing Troy really prides themselves on, we talked with Coach Cross, is taking away your first option, keeping you out of the paint, extending the defense. So hats off to Arsenault for breaking down Troy off the bounce and on the drive. Just go play basketball, and it ends up paying off with a and-one opportunity here.
And hits the free throw at 78%, and for the first time tonight, they enjoy a 10-point lead at 14-4. Conaway leads the Sun Belt Conference in assists so far. He's got the basketball in his hands. Good defense that time by Cryer. Double team to the ball handler in the low block. Conaway again. Passing to the low block. Going for the dunk and missing at that time was Jarrell Bellamy. And right back comes Houston.
Houston really fortunate there. That weak side has to pull in on all dives. You know the defense. You should be up trapping with high hands, so the weak side's got to be there.
Cryer with a straight-on three. Bodies flying everywhere. Cryer to the sideline, can't save it. And Coach Sampson appreciates the hard effort for the Houston sidelines.
Absolutely. You see guys crashing in, but look at this right here. The weak side's got to be there, and good help, but very fortunate not to be giving up a big play there. And Coach Sampson's going to be ecstatic for that last effort he saw on the boards, man.
Randarius Jones is back in for Troy. Marcus Rigsby Jr. again, one of the starting wings. His younger brother again was Miles, so they'll see time on the floor primarily together. In fact, this Troy lineup has been the same for all 9 games this season. A missed 3 for the elder Rigsby. And we've got a foul underneath.
There you go. It's going to be that type of night. There are going to be bodies hitting the floor here, and War box out, 2-hand finish, and can't keep his balance there. But that's exactly, what you want to see.
Yeah, Ramon Walker on the floor. It's like, I just got in here, and you're pushed down to the ground. That's not fair. We're halfway done in the first half of play, and so far Troy has just 4 points. Another body down. That time was Francis.
And Coach Cross talked about matching the physicality, and those are the plays, fighting through screens, hitting the boards.
Shot clock under 5, losing the basketball. Arsenault, that's a turnover and a forced one. Steal for Troy. That's 4 Houston turnovers here in this first half of play. Troy spending a lot of time outside the arc. Contested 3 comes off the hands. That's on the way and good for Marcus Rigsby, who shoots at 38% from distance.
Telling you, Troy's starting to get more and more comfortable, but it's starting with their defense.
That's their first 3 of the game in 7 tries. Cougar advantage, once 10 down to 7 in this low-scoring affair. Open in the wing, Arsenault. 2 more deflections, but in the hands of Valdez. Into front court comes Rigsby Jr. against Walker. Looks to separate, lost the basketball on his way up. Scramble for it, and a nice takeaway that time by Emmanuel Sharp. 5 Troy turnovers in his first half. Sharp to finish, and outside the rim, and he'll get free throw.
And Sharp's been really good here tonight, just attacking the rim, and you see he's using those big shoulders, man. He's a big burly guard, got a great frame, but that impact right there, and then you force the referee to make a whistle. And I'll be honest, man, there's been a couple calls that haven't been made here tonight, so this is a man's game, and you knew it was going to be that type of effort here tonight, and from both ends.
Troy's been whistled 4 times in his first half. The Cougars just once as Sharp goes to the line. Try one is up and in. It feels like to me the wings of Houston are going to have to be a little more aggressive, especially at the top of the key, to not let Troy settle into their defensive strategy.
Yeah, and they're really extending the pressure. They can't match Houston with size, so they're figuring if they can keep, and this is Troy we're talking about, keep them out to the perimeter, make sure they're not attacking, you know, you're going to have a chance there. But hats off to Sharp because he recognized that Troy's defense isn't set. Go get a bucket, go get fouled, go make something happen. Excellent job there from Sharp.
Cougars are a perfect 5 of 5 from the free throw line. As a group, they shoot at 75%.
Well, notice Troy starting to go away from those early ball screens. They're getting movement into it, and then they can move the basketball.
A slide and a kick out for a three off the back heel of Rigsby. UH wants to break, and they can't do so because he stepped out of bounds.
I think Sharp was thinking about the lob. He had Arsenal running, and this would have tore the rim down, and the house would have been going crazy. So, unfortunately, there, watch him. He takes this peek. And that's just that little foot on the line.
So no highlight film material off of that play.
No, not yet. He was thinking he was going to go for it.
So far, Troy just 3 of 16 for the floor. The Cougars not a whole lot better. They're 5 of 17. Valdez to Campbell. Back out near midcourt for Rigsby Jr. Defended by 2 different Cougars. Uzan on the trail, also over there to give him some well-contested defensive pressure was JoJo Tugler. We got a timeout on the floor. 7:59 remaining in this first half. A surprisingly low-scoring game. Defense is prevalent in this contest with the Cougars up by 9. Houston Cougars trying to pick up their 6th win of the year. Right now lead 16-7 with 7:59 remaining in this first half of play. It is a special reunion of sorts for one member of the Troy University basketball staff. But more on that, here's Vanessa Richardson.
Yeah, and that member is Calvin Lewis, of course, MVP of the 2010 Conference USA Tournament. He, of course, helped the Cougs clinch that berth to the NCAA tournament that year. I was able to catch up with him before the game. He said it is amazing to be back. He said it truly feels like home. He said the energy is amazing. He said this arena, by the way, is so nice. And I asked him what his favorite memory was. No surprise. He said winning that championship in 2010. So he just said it's been a really special trip, Matt and Ryan.
Yeah, Vanessa and Ryan, you don't realize the building he had to play in is right here, and it's nothing close to what we're standing in 2024. I can tell you that for sure. Hofheinz Pavilion had seen its better days, I can tell you that.
Sure, he appreciates it.
Troy down by 9 with possession. Shot clock again under 10. Campbell doesn't take the 3, goes underneath, reverse layup. That is blocked. Nicely done by Tugler.
That's why JoJo Tugler is in the game, bringing the energy, scrapping and fighting for that basketball there. But, you know, he erases the mistakes that are made defensively. And you got a defense that hustle and scraps. Watch JoJo on the weak side here. Go up and give me that. Great job there. And you see that long wingspan of his. And this is impressive, you know, because guys go under the rim to shield from shot blockers, and JoJo still gets there.
That foul was called on the Trojans, Randarius Jones. That is their 5th foul of the half. Uzan goes cross court to Sharp. Nice screen set by Roberts. Another block shot that time on the other side of the floor is Jones is the one to swat the basketball away.
I'm telling you, man, Troy hasn't made a shot, but they're getting more and more confident. They keep hanging around in this ball game. You got to be mindful. You know, Coach Sampson knows.
That shot clock at 5 as the ball not at the rim. Fade away from the elbow, a miss. And Tugler tried to keep it in bounds and will not be able to do so. So the missed shot that time by L.J. Cryer results in a possession here for Troy.
Good to see Tugler feeling well. You see Coach Cross up. He's active and coaching and calling out coverages tonight. And telling you, these guys are competing, but JoJo's been all over the place.
It's crazy, Ryan. Troy averages 74 points per game. They're at 7 with 7 minutes left to go in the first half. Upgrading competition, that's for sure. Cougar defense only allows 58 per contest. That includes playing games like Alabama and San Diego State and Auburn and Notre Dame for that matter.
One thing you notice is that Troy is handling the trap and the pick and roll much better.
Tugler got hit across the face, and we've got a stoppage in play.
Yeah, he took an elbow during that trap. Got one right in the face from Valdez, and it's unintentional. Good job play on. And watch this swing through. Yeah. Okay, well, that might have been a right cross he got.
JoJo's going to need a cut man during the halftime, I think. Right?
I didn't know Valdez had a mean hook, man. Goodness. One of those type of games, man. You want physicality,
well,
you got it.
23 combined points scored in 14 minutes. It kind of feels that way, does it not?
Yeah, man, that was more action than that Tyson fight.
Tugler floated off the back iron against the home roll. We have a whistle coming up, and the basket's in a count, too.
And that's what you get. That's what Houston gets. And that's the right idea from Troy. Trying to keep Houston off the glass here and watch him just undercut Juwan Roberts here. And this is the job, but our guards get in and fight. Coach Cross is like, hey, good job. You're in there battling. But, yeah, that's a foul. See, he's one.
Cougars will be shooting in the bonus here on the next foul as Victor Valdez checks out. And returning is the starting power forward in Jackson Fields. So the basket counts and a new possession here with 20 to shoot. Open three for Cryer. Nails it. Haven't seen many of those. Just his second triple of the game for the Cougars. Their lead is up to 14.
Hats off to Cryer. Notice how he moves without the basketball. There's a 7-0 run going on, man. The Cougs are starting to lock in.
I think the fans wanted something to cheer about. Not much offense either side this first half.
JoJo Tugler has been amazing, man. And again, we talk about the ground that he covers, the communication. He just gets it.
Here's Miles Rigsby with 3 to shoot. Oh, nasty screen. That's an air ball. That won't count. Another shot clock violation. We have had Houston Cougars playing on a sheet of ice like a hockey game. People are being beat up on this floor tonight.
I mean, Sharp just got laid out. My goodness. I mean, we're watching, forget the offense, and that's a legit screen. As the big, I'm screening at my big man right there. You got to call out those screens. You got to call the screens. That's on the bigs, but wow.
How many possessions, Ryan, have we seen Troy not get a shot off with like 3 seconds or less on the shot clock? It's crazy.
When JoJo's in the game, it's such a difference. A defense extends, the guards get more aggressive, and you can feel the energy in the air.
Arsenal back into the baseline. Long pass out to Sharp. Troy a little bit of a 1-2-2. To Cryer with 5. Takes an extra slide step. Turns, spins, and scores.
Great patience there from Cryer. Took his time. You saw the way he attacked the rim and able to get to that pretty mid-range.
He's got 10 of the Cougar 23 points. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. Cooper Campbell to his right. Again, they cannot get inside the arc to save their life at this point. Valdez turns and spins to Campbell with 4. Now near the elbow. Double pumps, goes up. Back iron around the iron. No, tipped out of bounds. It'll be staying with Troy. And there, I can just see Cooper Campbell, that backup wing number 3 for Troy. It's like, God, it's taking us forever to get into our motion.
Yeah, but again, JoJo Tugler has gotten on the floor. This game has changed. Houston able to extend defensively. They've been even more aggressive.
15-3 run here for the Cougars, and I would say run. It's been over 10 minutes, so it's not like it's more of a slow walk.
Listen, our highlights are coming from screens and loose balls tonight,
That's right.
baby. Come on.
Not a lot of highlight material, except this outstanding defense the Cougars are putting in there. And, man, going up hard is Jackson Fields. He was hit by a couple of different Houston Cougars. Fields, I'm sure, has a few friends and family in the crowd tonight, having played his high school ball at Elkins in Missouri City.
Yeah, you got to close up that trap, and JoJo doesn't get that right leg across. You can't let him through.
Second foul on Tugler, by the way. Team foul situations, it's 3 for Houston and 6 for Troy. As Fields goes to the free throw line, he's a 77% free throw shooter. This is the first free throw of the game for Troy. It's up and in. And when Fields gets the basketball in that low block, Ryan, he's good. He's at 59%. He just has had very few touches inside 3 feet.
Yeah, that's the Houston defense extending everything out.
So Troy has made 1 free throw. The Cougars are a perfect 5 of 5. Rebound numbers advantage Houston as well at 17 to 12. Cougars already have 5 block shots in this first half. Second free throw is missed. An offensive rebound. An open look for Campbell. No. He's missed back-to-back 3 shots.
Oh, God. Guys are dropping like bowling pins tonight.
Sharp wants to get involved offensively. To Arsenault, looking to finish. And he had 2 guys on top of him.
I'm telling you, Arsenault can play, man. He's got an excellent handle. Great size, but again, the IQ, you just got a feel for the game. Watch him get inside here and using some hang time and forcing Troy to foul him, and frustration. They thought this was going to be good defense, but right there with the body, okay?
So Terrence Arsenault, 78% on the year at the line, will have 2 free throws. That's a 7th team foul against Troy, so the Cougars in the bonus the final 4:13 of this first half. Houston will have a nice break after this. We'll take on the University of Toledo a week from Wednesday. You and I will have that game for you here as well on the ESPN. Arsenault's free throw is up and in. Cougars now a perfect 6 of 6 from the line. And some more substitutions coming in here as Tate Conaway, one of their starting guards, returns here for the Trojans.
And Matt, that's one of the things that if you talk to Coach Sampson and Cross, there's a mentality that the referees aren't calling every foul. So you go play physical and stay aggressive. And again, it's going to be that type of game tonight. Hats off for the officials. I love it. You know, let these guys get out and play.
Troy has 3 field goals in 20 tries. Here comes attempt 21. The finish on the reverse layup, no. Good look that time by Jarrell Bellamy, and he could not put it in for Troy. It ain't now 3 of 21.
Ain't tricking if you got it, Matt.
Cryer face a double team. To Roberts out on the left wing. Sharp. Roberts looks to the lane. Kicks it out. Deflected. Back in the hands of Sharp. Shot clock under 10. Cryer jumps it. No look pass. Pump fake. And a miss on the finish for Arsenault. Another offensive rebound that time. Javier Francis.
That little hesitation from Arsenault. I thought he had a jam coming.
L.J. Cryer's been the most consistent scorer for either side in this first half of play. He's got 10. The Cougar lead is 17. The Houston Cougar defense has been tenacious in this first half of play. Fans appreciate it, and so far Troy, 3 of 21 and 1 of 9 from 3-point distance.
Yeah, they have struggled to score the basketball, and you know they've done enough defensively. Houston's only got 25 points, right, but it's been their defense and the rebounding, the Houston, the activity. Keep an eye. JoJo Tugler's got 2 fouls. He's really been the impact player for Coach Sampson in the first half. They're a different ball club when he's not on the floor.
Usually, Ryan, when you're shooting 8 of 23 in the first half yourself, you're down like 8 or 9 points.
Yes, no doubt, but that's where Coach Kelvin Sampson is comfortable. Roberts on the post-up. Double team comes. On the baseline left, kick out, Cryer, the hot hand of the first half, and he keeps it going with a deep three. That's a gift. I mean, somehow Cryer, LJ seems to just be open every single time. But even better, you see, catches that ball. There's no hesitation. There's no thought process. And he's got a pretty stroke, Matt.
He is 5 of 7 in the first half, along with 3 threes. Another miss for Troy and a 1 and out. That time off the hands of Miles Rigsby. They have kept him in check, averaging 14 points per game. He cannot find any open lanes. Sharp on a handoff. Difficult time that with Arsenal, but a foul bails him out. That'll stop the clock at 2 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Now you think about that Butler game. The second half, Houston really got going offensively. Let's see. Obviously, they get fouled there, but if they can find some execution, those are the areas where they need to work on. And you know the defense is going to be there, the rebounds, but again, execute some good offense. And you know, tough to say because tonight is more of a just use your instincts, high IQ, come and play the game and be prepared.
Miles Rigsby picks up his second foul. To your point, LJ Cryer in that first half against Butler, Ryan, was 0 for 4. He went 7 of 10 in the second half. He had a career-high 20 points, 18 of them coming in the second 20 minutes. And he is on the verge of maybe perhaps getting his third consecutive 20-point game. He's got 13 here so far in the first half as Arsenal back to the free throw line. No on the 1 and 1. 2:35 remaining. Another deflection, another turnover. That time in the hands of Emmanuel Sharp. Nice slide pass. Turns around the defender. Goes the window and scores. Javier Francis.
Pretty seal inside for Francis. And what I love is not only did he run the floor, he sealed, he got big, and he forced Sharp to throw the ball inside because he ran so hard.
Dowd to the top of the arc for Francis. Dowd cannot move into that low post area. Rigsby trying to separate himself from the defender. Good defense again applied by Emmanuel Sharp. Post come in. Ball deflected. And a shot. We got ourselves another shot clock violation. My goodness, that's got to be at least 3 here in this first half.
There you go. Love that from Houston. Discipline in the pick and roll. Up, high hands, and ready to retreat.
That is 8 turnovers now for the Troy Trojans. They come in averaging 17 a game. They beat Eastern Kentucky by 10. They turn the ball over 19 times in that game. We are reaching epically low levels in scoring by an opponent here with a 1:32 remaining, and Troy has 8 first-half points. Troy goes zone.
Right now, you got to be stingy, saying, "Hey, I don't want them to get double digits."
Fadeaway for Arsenault. Another offensive rebound. Sweet spot for Cryer. Unbelievable first half. He's got 16.
Those are the best threes you get. And that's LJ Cryer off the offensive rebounds. You end up being wide open. And those are rhythm jump shots.
Cryer is 4 of 5 from long range in his first half. Under a minute remaining and a 25-point Houston advantage. Rigsby had the ball deflected by Arsenault. Pass underneath, turns, spins, layup attempt, no, but we've got a whistle. Everything right now for Troy. They feel like there's a Houston Cougar body constantly around them.
Yeah, they're feeling footsteps and ends up being wide open. Doesn't get it to go, but the hesitation, just go up and dunk the basketball.
Randarius Jones, a senior out of Monroe, Louisiana, averaging 4 points a game off the bench here for the Trojans. This is their 3rd free throw of the first half. It's up and in. They're now 2 of 3.
Let's see if Troy can break double digits here. It's a football score.
Jr. and Mercy Miller in for the first time, the talented freshman. He wears number 25. Free throw off the heel. And in the back corner, it's a save for Sharp. 44 seconds remaining. Cougars have given up 9 first half points. Cryer comes into front court, and we have ourselves a timeout. 38.5 seconds remaining. The Houston Cougars with a 24-point lead, shooting well under 50% of the first half. This defense of the Cougars has allowed several 30-second violations on Troy. The 8 turnovers we talked about, 3 of 22 from the floor, and 1 player for the Houston Cougars and LJ Cryer has almost double the points of the entire Troy basketball team.
Yeah, and he's been really good tonight in just making the game simple. Catch and shoot. He had a nice drive earlier, but not a lot of wasted motion. And that's one thing is he knows his job here, and you got to be salivating at a shooter with all the offensive rebounds that the Cougs get, because that means you're going to get open looks and you're going to get a defense trying to scramble, and Cryer knows exactly what to do with it. We see Coach Cross there, and felt like he really had this game in hand, and things starting to slip, man. This has been a good, I'd say, probably last 7 to 10 minutes for Houston.
So if you're Coach Cross, what are you telling the boys in the locker room at halftime?
Calm down. You're getting good looks, much better job handling the pressure, but we got to be more physical.
Emmanuel Sharp will inbound the basketball for Houston. Into the backcourt for L.J. Cryer. He's had a wonderful first half with 16. He loves that sweet spot at the top of the arc. Thought about the mid-range to Mercy Miller. The talented freshman lost the basketball. That's a turnover. That will not gain minutes from Coach Sampson, I can tell you that. Randarius Jones with the steal for the Trojans. Shot clock is off. Troy will play for the final shot of the half and then get one off. There's a layup try. That's on the way in good for Tate and Connerway. And they finally reach double digits with 8 seconds remaining in the first half. Cryer across midcourt. He's got 16. Could it be 18? Short. And that'll end the first half of play. Outstanding defense for the University of Houston. 4 of 23. That's what Troy shot in the first half. 1 of 9.
And maybe some more plays downhill to create the movement.
Quick pass underneath and a missed layup that time by Jackson Fields. They got a good look that time. Ryan couldn't finish.
Yeah, that's inexcusable. Fields is thinking about somebody blocking a shot there. Just go up and with authority.
Nice pass from one big man to the other, and unfortunately, it is deflected out of bounds.
We talked about the execution. Beautiful high look there, high-low look there, but you have to finish those plays.
That was Roberts and Tugler. Shot clock at 17 seconds. Catch and shoot off the inbounds. A 3-ball side pocket. Emmanuel Sharp.
There you go. Emmanuel Sharp ready to shoot. Always prepared.
Cougars now 5 of 11 from 3. Troy ran much of their same sets that in the first half, trying to penetrate the top of the arc. Can't do so. Now for the second time, there's a layup attempt. That's an N1 coming up. And a basket on the second time, the charm for Jackson Fields.
And that's what Scott Cross has seen from Fields this season. This is by design. He coach is saying, guys, look at the slip when they trap. It's been wide open there tonight, and takes advantage, catches the ball strong, and Fields knew the mistake. He made the play before and made up for it there.
Jackson Fields averaging 9 points a game and 5 rebounds. We mentioned at the top of our broadcast, shoots almost 60% from the floor. And at the free throw line for an N1 opportunity. It's on the way and good.
And if you're Kelvin Sampson, you're getting on shop there. He's got to be there early. He's catching that big way too low, and there's nothing he's going to do if he gets the ball in the paint.
Milos Uzan brings it into front court. He has yet to score tonight. He's averaging 9 points per game. Give and go with Uzan and Sharp.
Little 2-3 look here, and wow, is the pressure coming off for Troy.
Down the lane, there's no pressure that can stop that train. That's Jawan Roberts with the throwdown.
No 3 seconds here in college. That's inexcusable. You got to be in the lane, play the basketball. Nobody stops the ball, and hats off to Roberts. Not being a robot, and that's something Coach Sampson talks about tonight. Go play basketball, be a player, and Roberts has a great feel for the game. Excellent passing big.
Rigsby's been quiet as well. Both of Rigsby's had. There's a ball deflected, and that's a nice takeaway defensively off the hands of Sharp.
No, they have done an excellent job against Rigsby tonight, and staying down on his shot fakes, reading their scouting report.
Uzan wants a shot make, and he can't get it. Ball deflected the free throw line, and sprinting quickly coming back. Connerway, 1-on-3 to the window, miss it. The tap up is on the way and in, and Thomas Dow puts it in 2 for 2 for Troy.
Yeah, he's been really good down on the boards. That's what he does, leads the team in rebounding. Had a nice putback earlier. He might be leading the team with scoring with 4 points.
I don't mean to laugh, but when you have 16 points, that's not crazy to think.
No, it says a lot for Kelvin Sampson, man.
Pryor gets his screen. Moves on the baseline left. Shot clock at 5. Face a double team. Back inside. Tugler with the right hand. Taps it out. Back to Pryor with a new 20. Open kick for a three-point try. Front iron miss with a whistle. And yet again another Houston Cougar. And boy, JoJo Tugler continues to taste a lot of this floor here at Fertitta Center.
Matt, JoJo Tugler is unbelievable. I mean, he is flying around Tyson Chandler tip outs. See this dunk here from Roberts. That's big. Nobody stops the basketball. Rumbling and tumbling. Big fella, we see you. 2 hands for safety. That's the right play, man. Go make a move. Don't be a robot.
Vanessa mentioned this at the top of our broadcast. 122 wins. He's only lost 22 times as a Houston Cougar. We've got a foul in the low block. Imagine playing 144 basketball games over your collegiate career and only tasting 22 defeats. That was you at UCLA, right?
Yeah. My senior year, maybe. Not for the whole time.
Miles Rigsby with his third foul.
That wasn't Kareem. Oh, wow. Rigsby.
Another one. That's going to be 4 on him, right? Yes. So 2 fouls in the last 10 seconds. And that's tough because Miles Rigsby is their most consistent scorer. He had a season-high 20 against Eastern Kentucky. And he's going to have to go to the bench here.
Matt, that's frustration. And you know it. It's settling in. And Houston doing a good job. He's kind of been a marked man here tonight. Guys have been really physical on his drives.
Floater, shot attempt 1 and 2, no good. Another offensive rebound here for Ramon Walker. Then they lose it. We got a foul in backcourt frustration. And the guilty party is going to be once again Emmanuel Sharp. That's his second foul to have.
1st and 10, man. You got bodies flying all over the place. That's the show right there. Forget the points. We're looking for the loose balls.
A lot of cold baths after this game on both sides, it feels like.
The trainers are just cringing right now.
We have played nearly 3 minutes. The University of Houston leads 22. Dowda has one of these second half baskets. Carrington Keel is in for Rigsby, who's out with those 4 whistles. And there's a deflection, and there's another steal. So a mixed bag here for Emmanuel Sharp. That's his second takeaway in the second half. Arsenault gets a screen from Tugler. Baseline, Walker with a 3-ball off the front rim. Cougars not shooting well from 3. They are 5 of 13. An alley-oop attempt is thwarted underneath as the Cougars get back defensively quickly. And Ramon Walker making the most of his playing time with that deflection out of bounds.
Good hustle there, and for Walker, that's what it has to be. Make the most of your opportunities. He knows Kelvin Sampson basketball. He's a hustle guy. He's flying around. Got that Kelvin Sampson DNA. Wow, and hey, Troy playing to a stalemate right here. 5-5.
Yeah. Marcus Rigsby, the older brother, stays on the floor. He's not in foul trouble, but Keel. Back to Rigsby. Shot clock at 10. Marcus Rigsby, a contested 2, no. And Arsenault will box out the low block and Thomas down. They're going to say a foul.
Wow, I hadn't seen too many of those on box outs called.
Yeah.
No, there was one. They had to call it over the back. But Dowd, man, he's doing a good job hitting the glass. He plays really hard.
Boy, he is huffing and puffing too. My goodness, he's getting a serious workout tonight, as are these Troy Trojans, as Cooper Campbell returns for Troy.
Hats off to Coach Cross, man. He is still switching up his defenses. He never lets you get comfortable. That's really hard to play against. And you know, I asked Kelvin Sampson, I said, Kelvin, you running zone offense or man offense? He said, neither. We're just going to play basketball tonight. And they have.
Pryor gets a Tugler screen. Mid-range on the baseline, around the rim and down. That's a 2-pointer for Terrence Arsenault.
And that's what Arsenault does, man. Knows how to get his shot off. And I think he's a guy that's really going to have to come along, give Houston a chance down the stretch. He can create his own look. He's got great size.
Arsenault with 7. Houston leads 24. At the elbow, baseline 3-point try. That's strong off the hands of Keel. Scramble in the back corner, saved by, of course, the Houston Cougars. Roberts with a pass to midcourt. recovered by Troy. Conaway on a baseline for a three-point try, and getting a hack across the forearm is Thomas Dowd, and that's the 4th foul against the Cougars, and that's going to be a whistle against JoJo Tugler. So the first player for Houston in foul trouble belongs to number 11 for Houston. Pretty close matchup here in the second half, but Houston still comfortably in front.
This is relief. This is personal. Chiropractic care that starts with an understanding of your specific needs and goals. This is easy. Open evenings and weekends, and you can walk in anytime. Really easy. With regular visits costing less than a typical copay. No insurance needed. This is the Joint Chiropractic. Find your relief at a location near you.
Our orthopedic care is shaped around you. And you. And you. Because customizing treatments and using breakthrough techniques is how your comeback starts. Like 3D printing for ultra-precise joint replacements and providing the same specialty care as we do for the Houston Rockets. So you return sooner, stronger, better. This is orthopedic care designed for you. Memorial Hermann, advancing health, personalizing care.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. Moving piles of earth, towing up to 4,000 pounds, cutting millions of blades of grass. We could keep trying to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
King Ranch Ag and Turf, built on tradition, driven by excellence.
Our vision changed everything. Superconductivity research at the University of Houston helped shape the modern world. But we didn't stop there. Today, UH researchers are still pushing the boundaries of what's possible with superconductivity. Faster transit, more efficient energy, better medical diagnostics. We're not just imagining the future. We're building it.
If you're a head coach and your team has surrendered 16 points in basically 25 minutes of basketball, you're going to be very happy. More from Coach Sampson. Here's Vanessa.
Yeah, I asked some of the guys at shoot-around today, what is your favorite Kelvin Sampson saying? LJ Cryer said his is be humble or you'll be humbled. Also, keep your chip, as in the chip on your shoulder. Don't forget where you came from, even if you get that NIL money and you have some success. Juwan Roberts told me his favorite Kelvinism, be comfortable being uncomfortable. Life is not going to be easy. He also said, Coach Sampson says the harder you play, the more that people will not be able to see your weaknesses. So if you can't shoot but you play hard, no one will know you can't shoot because you can do the little things that compensate for that. And Emmanuel Sharp's favorite Kelvinism, come out with toughness. Coach Sampson says, come out chewing wood and spitting it at them. Matt and Ryan.
Matt's chewing some wood over here, I'll tell you that much.
I've never had that in my entire life. Zero.
You're a wood chew type of guy.
Free throw is up and good for Thomas Dowd.
Tell Kelvin Sampson, stop telling my secrets. No jump shot, play hard, 10 years in the NBA, man. Keep that in the locker room.
Dowd with a second free throw. Every time I listen to a press conference with Kelvin Sampson, he says something that you stop and you pause and go, I wish I would have thought to say that myself. His Kelvinisms are legendary, just like yours are.
I can't compete on that stage.
No, you can't. But I was trying to give you little false props there.
Thanks, Matty.
All right, down to the bench after he makes those 3 free throws. 40-19 is the score. As Troy has actually outscored the Cougars by 1 here in the second half.
Full court pressure there, and there you go. That's what they're looking for.
Conaway with a steal on the trail. Valdez back to Conaway for a three. Offensive rebound and put back. Nicely done that time by Jarrell Bellamy, who averages 8.5 points a game off the bench here for the Trojans.
Hey, Matty, a little full court pressure here. And a little 1-2-2. And wow. Yeah. Wow. Hesitation. You got to get the ball to the middle of the floor, and you go. And the Cougs look quite surprised there. And let's see if you can see back-to-back buckets here for Troy.
You want to read that man's mind right now?
Yeah, that face says it all. We know what the Cougs will be working on in practice, some press break action, but it's just good because you're going to get, I know the score doesn't show it, you're going to get some great film here from Troy, man. They get after you.
Troy has outscored the Cougars 10-7 here in this second half. Valdez near the elbow. Blocked shot way out there by Jawan Roberts.
There you go. That's that smothering defense.
Cryer's got the ball in his hand. He had 16 first half points.
And here's the thing. If Troy doesn't score, they can't set their defense up. They're finally getting some offense here in the second half.
Sharp looking for separation. Couldn't get it against Conaway. Oh, mean screen set that time by Francis to the window. And that's one blocked from behind by Valdez. And out of bounds. And the defensive intensity has improved here in the second half of the Trojans.
No, it has. And again, that's what's tough when you play Troy. They switch things up. You're not going to get a steady diet. We've seen 2-3. We've seen man press. We've seen zone press. 1-2-2. It's just a little bit of everything tonight.
We're seeing the University of Houston offense struggle. They have made 1 of their last 8 field goal tries. Still a 19-point lead. Troy has not been able to use the outside game to their advantage. They're 1 of 11 from distance so far in this game. Valdez being pushed a little bit. Conaway, extra step. Out to Campbell with 5 to shoot. That one is blocked. Nicely done. And boy, you got guys tripping all over each other. Cryer with a swat out of bounds to the baseline. It'll be Troy basketball here with less than 3 on the shot clock.
And again, good job by Francis. He's been pretty active. Watch him come from the weak side with the help there. And Cryer stays in the play. That's so key for guards. Don't just quit on the play. Go help.
And intercepting the ball in the inbounds. Another steal. Jawan Roberts with a takeaway. By the way, that's now 7 blocks for the University of Houston in this game. Uzan. Couple of screens set by Roberts. Into the low block and a reach over. It's going to be a foul called on Jarrell Bellamy.
Good minutes there from Roberts. Gets a big rebound on one end. Comes down, sets a screen, and tough with the basketball.
It's 5 fouls against the Trojans. Cougars been whistled for 4 here as Conaway goes to the bench. And they'll bring back Thomas Dowd in for Troy. Uzan still looking to get his first point of the game. He does have 3 dimes in this contest. Roberts double pumps. Oh, another pass to another big man. A nice finish that time for Jawan Roberts.
Pretty basketball. You know I love some high-low action, big to big, and one thing you want to do is spacing underneath. Get underneath the defense. Good job there from Roberts. Again, man, he's balling here.
6 points, 6 rebounds for Roberts. Francis with 2 points and 4 rebounds. Low post threat here tonight for Houston. 7.5 gone by here in the second half. Shot clock at 5. Campbell to the elbow. Out for Dowd. He falls down as he attempts the 3. Ball is like a hot potato, grabbed by Troy at a reset. Campbell showing some frustration. He can't get past Uzan. He'll turn to the baseline right. Good ball movement. Contested 3's coming up. That's halfway down for Victor Valdez. And a rebound once again by Jawan Roberts. Cryer gets pushed back at the free throw line. Finds Roberts underneath.
Roberts really has a great feel for how to play. Very skilled big.
Cryer to his right. Shot clock at 8.
Gotta go.
Francis leans in, and he took an extra step. So a clunky second half of the Houston Cougars, but what they did in the first 20 was spectacular. Still enjoying a 21-point lead as they work their way towards their 6th victory of the season here inside Fertitta Center. There are two teams in the country that have 26 consecutive home victories. One is the back-to-back national champion UConn Huskies. The other team, Ryan Hollins, is the team we're seeing here tonight.
Kelvin Sampson has made this Fertitta Center an impossible place to play. You cringe when you see Houston on the schedule because their rebounds, their hustle, their effort. That's Kelvin Sampson basketball. And the one thing he focused on is, hey guys, we ain't been playing Coug basketball, and they have done that here tonight. I'm sure he's got some things he's gonna nitpick. The guards coming up from the weak side, some of those offensive rebounds he gave up, but that was one of the stingiest first halves we have ever seen. And it was history.
Maybe he'll give Vanessa another Kelvinism after the game tonight. Turning and spinning is Jones to the baseline. Dowd tried to hand it off, couldn't do so. Shot clock under 10, down underneath. Jump hook from 5, that's off the wing. And that's off the rim on the right side, and a foul's gonna be coming up. That was just Dowd just trying to put the ball up before a U of H defender got in his way.
Yeah, he did, and let's see, and not much there with the whistle. That one of the lighter calls we've seen here tonight.
Yeah. Arsenault with the foul on that one.
No blood, no foul.
No. You've got to follow my friend Joseph Duarte. He's the University of Houston beat reporter for the Chronicle. He captures every Kelvinism, and it's just magic. I think you and the Rockets broadcast should have some Hollandisms.
I try my best. I don't know if I can match. And again, another offensive rebound for Troy off a free throw.
And Randarius Jones puts the layup in to make it now a 42-24 game. Rockets, or I should say, the Cougars have 13 offensive rebounds off their 24 misses tonight, but they've been kind of stagnant here scoring in the second half.
Again, man, Troy is a tough defense because they switch things up.
Oh, Cryer just filling it from distance.
That's what you need. You call a zone buster. Cryer's a zone buster because if you have to rotate to him, you give him an open look, he's going to knock it down. And again, the zero hesitation.
Cryer now with 19 on 5 of 6 from three-point range. Open look, three-point try coming off the back iron for Conaway. An offensive rebound, a rare one here for Troy. Campbell to a cutter, and Conaway puts it in for 2.
Conaway's been, I feel like he's been Troy's best player. You know, he's really been working. He's been active here. Excellent second half. Leads the team in steals.
At 6 points and 5 rebounds now. Cougar lead down to 19. Uzan tied up and a whistle. And the call will go against Tate Conaway. Preseason second team in the Sun Belt Conference. We mentioned Miles Rigsby, who has been saddled with foul trouble with 4. He is the first team preseason All Sun Belt. He was the freshman of the year a year ago. He has scored at least 10 points in all of their games here so far this year, and that streak is in serious jeopardy, especially with the foul trouble that he's in.
Yeah, he's been a real focus for Houston. They have been very physical on his drives and doing a good job staying down, but he's definitely frustrated.
Malik Wilson at the elbow. Tipped out of bounds. Last touched by Houston, and it'll be out of bounds as Ramon Walker couldn't get to it. In fact, the Troy Trojans have outscored the Cougars in the second half 15-12. Substitution coming in here for the Trojans.
Bit of a ways to go, but you know, for Troy also, they're looking to improve. You know, Coach Cross doesn't feel like his guys were their best versions of themselves in the first half. Had some very makeable shots that they missed. Could have been stronger with the basketball. There were moments where they settled in, but ultimately he knows his guys have to be better and attack that trapping pick and roll of Houston.
Well, when you're down by as much as they were at the half, don't you take those in like 4-minute intervals here? Win the next 4?
Yeah, you want to continue to cut it out.
Nasty block out of bounds. Boy, I tell you what, Jawan Roberts send that 2 rows deep behind the Troy bench.
Yeah, Roberts picking up for JoJo Tugler, and watch him slide over here, weak side block, and good defense there. You go at the last second, and probably could have stolen that basketball. We'll take the block, though.
Yeah, shot clock at 6. Double team to the low block. Dowd's got to contest one. It's on the way. Weak side rebound and putback is no good that time for Valdez. That was an open layup that was blankly missed. On the leak out, it's Wilson, and he is fouled on the way up. Thomas Dowd the foul.
Yeah, Valdez had a point-blank look, and some of these misses are just sheer intimidation. Like this kick-ahead pass, and that's what Kelvin Sampson wants. Pick the pace up. If you have a chance to get an early look or foul opportunity, go. And again, how good Troy has been. Push the pace. Do not let this team set their defense up.
Another first here. Malik Wilson to the free throw line for the very first time this year in 9 games. And the free throw is off, no good.
Did you just jinx him?
No, I just brought up a point of fact.
That can be kind of jinxing, Matt.
No, I don't think so. That was not a jinx at all. If I bragged about his free throw percentage, that would be one thing, but I didn't do that.
You want to brag about him right now?
Nope, not going to say a word. I'll let you do it. There we go, 1 of 2, so it worked. Back to a 20-point lead. Cougars are 8 of 10 from the free throw line here tonight. Troy 7 of 10. How about that steal? A recovery, however. Ball is run like a pinball, and again it goes outside out. Troy maintains possession with 19 to shoot.
I think that's what Kelvin Sampson's teams do better than anyone. You feel like you've beaten them or you've gotten past them, and they just hawk you down and chase you from behind. Look at that. I mean, excellent hustle there, and you know, Ramon Walker just hounding the basketball.
And then Troy turns it over. Uzan and company. Malik Wilson. Another turnover. That's now 13 for Troy. Their numbers have dramatically slowed down here in the second half. But every turnover, it feels like, is turned into Houston points on the other end of the floor. In fact, there's the number that shows you 15 points off the mistakes. Cryer for an open 3. And he absolutely is feeling it no matter where he takes a shot on the floor.
It feels like if there's not a guy directly in front of him contesting his shot, he's going to let it go. And he's been unbelievable shooting the basketball here in this ball game. And even better, you know, 2 full halves.
He has 6 of their 7 3-pointers made tonight. On the baseline and getting hard, that's right. In fact, we were talking about Cryer. The rest of the team is 1 of 8 from 3-point range, as we've got a foul underneath and a Cougar slow to get up.
Jawan Roberts takes a shot there. Was that the ankle or the knee? Can't tell, man. He's a tough as nails, so when it goes down, you're going to have to be concerned there. And bodies flying all over the place, and see the frustration there from Rigsby. Yeah, it's probably an ankle. Tie those things up, stay in the game, and Kelvin Sampson gets it. Going to give him a bit of a rest. He's been working.
Yeah, looks like he's still trying to stretch himself out a little bit, as it appears that the Cougars are going to make a replacement here for him, and Javier Francis is going to come in. Oh, you hate the limp.
I mean, I'm surprised that Kelvin Sampson doesn't have his guys playing in knee pads like the Miami Heat and the elbow pads, the way they hit the glass.
Catch and shoot off the inbounds is no good, off the hands that time by Thomas Dowd. Boy, we're talking about 3-point percentages. They're 1 of 16 so far of the Trojans in this contest. Yeah, under 8.
This ball pressure has frustrated them, and even when they've gotten open looks, they've been affected by the ball pressure.
Francis cannot bring the ball out to the top of the arc because he was hit at the elbow with 2 Troy defenders on top of him. 7:53 remaining in this contest. Kelvin Sampson always instructed, despite his team up by 23. It's been a special night for one Houston Cougar guard. L.J. Cryer has 6 of the team's 7 3-point makes as we check in with Vanessa.
Yeah, I talked to L.J. Cryer this morning, and he is a guy that is just quieter by nature. He said he always has been since he was a kid. So being a vocal leader has had him getting out of his comfort zone. But Kelvin Sampson said he's done a great job of it. L.J. told me after those losses in Las Vegas, He said something had to change. I looked in the mirror and said, I have to be the one to change. I have to hold these guys more accountable. So he's still growing in that area, but safe to say he's doing a really good job of that tonight, Matt.
Thank you, Vanessa. This is a guy that, I mean, look, when you have Jamal Shed in your backcourt, you can just play the game. He has to take a much bigger leadership role. The free throw was missed that time by the Cougars.
Jamal Shed, one of the best to ever wear the jersey.
And it's still missed to this day on this campus, obviously now in the NBA. So off the Francis missed free throw. It is possession to Troy. Rigsby back in the ball game. This is the younger Rigsby, and he's going to score a basket that time. And it has been a tough go of things for him. Foul trouble and a make there. He is now 1 for 6. This is a guy that came in their leading scorer at 14 points per game.
Yeah, you saw it took about 4 up and unders just to get some freedom to shoot. But the Cougs have done a good job staying down on his fakes.
Uzen right side. He's scoreless too, as a matter of fact, for Houston still. Wilson to the low block for Francis. To a cutter, and a layup attempt is thwarted as Ramon Walker will get some free throws on a Troy foul.
Great cut there for Ramon Walker, and the team willing to reward him because he's been doing all the dirty work here in this ball game. That's why he gets the minutes. He's been great defensively, pressuring the basketball. I mean, throwing his body around.
Marcus Rigsby Jr. picks up his 3rd foul, so his younger brother Rigsby, that's Miles, has 4. Free throw is up and missed for Walker. So Miles Rigsby was recruited heavily by Scott Cross out of Fort Worth. His older brother Marcus, who just picked up the foul, was playing in junior college basketball at Tyler. Dad called and said, hey, my son's pretty good too. Coach Cross went and saw him, and we're able to grab both brothers onto this Troy campus.
Yeah, smart man right there. And 2 better than 1.
1 on the 2 at the free throw line as the Cougar lead is now 50-28. As Marcus Rigsby goes into front court, Uzen guards him tightly. This is the other Rigsby, Miles. Shot clock at 10, cut off by Wilson. Behind him. Oh, look at that move. That comes up short of the layup try. Nice hop and a skip, but no finish.
Yeah, $1 million move with a $5 finish, but that's the right idea.
Cryer to Uzen, who brings it out between the rings. Screened by Francis. Uzen trying for his first bucket. That comes up strong. Ball tipped up 3 times and finally secured by Miles Rigsby. Emmanuel Sharp in front of him. Dowd in the low block. Turning his field. Stolen, another turnover. This time in the hands of Emmanuel Sharp. Leads to Uzen right side. Can a Euro step his way to the basket? He will. First basket of the game for Miles Uzen.
Pretty move there by Miles Uzen. Took his time on this drive. Nice little step over action. Got defenders in the air. And again, watch this and one. Watch him see the ball through the basket. He's excellent body control. That's one of the moves that the players today now, they work on, those Euro steps. You got to have that in your game. And Kelvin Sampson, again, man, he's going to reward the guys that work. Okay, and seeing that pay off here.
Both Rigsby brothers now with 4 personal fouls. Here's Uzen to the free throw line off the heel. And recovered this time by Marcus. Into front court, Miles Rigsby to his left for Thomas Dowd. Campbell returns for the Trojans. Bumped layup attempt, no good for Tayton Conaway. And I like the fact that Conaway feels like he's been much more aggressive in the second half of going to the basket.
He's been really good, and he's been the best player for Scott Cross in the second half. Able to turn the corner. He played some good defense at the top of that 1-2-2. Aggressive getting to the hole, and that's what you do against aggressive defenses. You got to attack, and that's something that Scott Cross was saying. Hey, man, you guys got to be ready to play here tonight. And You know, and I thought Tatum Conaway's by far been the best at doing so. He's got just enough quickness and craftiness to be able to get either a bucket or a chance.
7th foul against the Cougars. Meanwhile, Troy has committed 10 whistles, so that'll be double bonus for the Cougars for the final 5:25. As we see Terrence Arsenault come back in. Also, Jawan Roberts returns for Houston.
Having a bit of a flashback, man. I see Mercy Miller check into the game. I used to play pickup basketball with his dad, okay, over at UCLA, and his older brother Romeo was in the gym with us, played at USC, and he's got the genes, you know. People don't know Master P is the rap name, we'll say. His dad actually had a walk-on with Toronto Raptors. There you go.
Oh, mercy me!
You've been holding that one, haven't you? No,
I believe every broadcaster is going to use that at least once this season.
Yes.
5 minutes remaining in the contest. You got some hesitant shooters right now on the floor for Troy. One of them is not the man who missed that shot, Dowd. And the ball underneath, and it's going to be last touch as Jackson Fields was fighting underneath with Mercy for the rebound. Look at the ball movement on this play.
Yeah, Mercy is a talented kid. No hesitation. You see that sweet stroke. And I'm telling you, when he figures out how to play, man, he is a stud, and he's going to be making waves here for the Cougs.
Campbell goes up. That's swatted by Miller. Making the most of his playing time. It's a 2-on-1.
Oh, you got to take
Wilson.
the layup.
Oh, there's a mid-range two-pointer. Really good. Emmanuel Sharp. That was actually smart. Didn't force it. Got the higher percentage shot from Sharp.
Oh, no, take the layup, Matty. Come on, don't do
You were
that.
looking for a highlight material. I know how you were rolling.
Absolutely. A good pass there from Mercy. Mercy saying, man, give me an assist. Come on.
Is that the hockey assist? Is that what that is?
No, yeah, well, he got the hockey assist, but I don't know if they count those here.
No, they don't. And there's a move underneath for Jackson Fields with a whistle coming up.
For good pass there, but back to Mercy Miller. He's got the offensive skill set to play at this level right now. But as far as defending, the physicality, and playing Kelvin Sampson basketball, those are things he's got to learn. But he's a fan favorite here already and got the genetics going.
Pride of Sherman Oaks, California. You know that part of the country very well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Master P, that's my guy right there.
I believe that is your first My Guy reference in 35 minutes of basketball.
Oh, gosh.
You know, I don't get to watch you on television.
For those of us that don't know, Ryan and I broadcast Houston Rockets basketball together.
Yes.
Matt does radio. And Ryan calls everybody my guy. So, Ryan, is Master P actually your guy?
Master P is definitely my guy.
Okay.
And I'm serious. I will.
I got a question for you. What does Master P make him say?
Na.
Matt, did you not get that one?
I have zero clue what you're speaking of. 4:05 remaining.
Make him say,
All right, turn your microphone off. Here's Malik Wilson at the left elbow. Cross court, back out to Miller. Short on the 3 ball.
Don't know if they play that on the Matt Thomas show, Vanessa.
I don't think they do. By the way, we should get a reference here. When someone's a My Guy, do you know their names always? Or sometimes My Guys, people you don't know their names?
That is not for television consumption, Matt. Let's go to break.
3:51 remaining. Cougars. That's all they need to pick up their 6th win of the season. It's time for Tita Center. 3:51 remaining here in the second half. Inside for Tita Center. The Cougars have allowed another low-scoring effort tonight. Ryan, this is the 6th best scoring defense in the country we're seeing on display this evening.
Yeah, Houston has been unbelievable tonight. And again, for Kelvin Sampson, man, he is stingy and he wants it all. He wants the rebounds. And again, he's looking at the guys on the floor right now. Mercy Millers and Arcanos and Sharpen saying, hey, I expect the defensive intensity to stay. No lapses. You know, he's focused on going into conference strong. And one thing we heard earlier was 1-0, one game at a time, building going into conference. So we got about 3 or 4 games to go here, and that'll be utmost importance.
Here's Rigsby, free throw, front rim, glass and down.
Better second half for Rigsby. You can tell his frustration in the first half. He wanted to play well, but U of H, that was a focus. They didn't want him getting his tonight, and it was a huge part of that historical defensive first half.
Rigsby's second free throw, no good. Rigsby averaging 14 points a game. He's been held to 3 points in this contest. 3:45 remaining.
Yeah, when your leading scorer goes scoreless in a game like this, you're going to be in trouble in the first half.
Malik Wilson getting some valuable playing time in the second half. Out to Arsenault. Look at Troy zoning up here, still with 3:28 remaining. Arsenault in the give and go. Reverse layup on the way. A windmill move, and he kisses it off the glass.
He can play, Matt. I'm telling you, I like Arsenault. He's a guy that the pro scouts are going to be looking at for his size and IQ and ability to handle the basketball and reputation coming out of the Kelvin Sampson system, I'll tell you that much.
9 points for him in the game. There's a layup attempt that is missed that time by Jackson Fields. He's had a tough night. Not a lot of looks underneath for the big man. Arsenault on a handoff to Wilson. Under 3 minutes remaining. And the Cougars score 79 points per game, so they're going to be well underneath their season average after this night. Here's a 3-ball on the way. That's good. It was good on takeoff for Emmanuel Sharp.
Emmanuel Sharp can fill it up, and he doesn't need much.
Cougars now as a group shooting 50% from the game from 3 on 9 of 18 after a sluggish start. Catch and shoot. This is Campbell for a 3. And that's just their second 3-pointer in 18 tries. And with that, we have a timeout. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this contest. Troy's only been able to celebrate 11 field goals in this game. That 3-ball from Campbell, his first. Houston still up by 28. Houston Cougars enjoying a 28-point lead, a much more competitive second half than we had in the first. After tonight's game, Ryan Howell's chance for the young men to get some college examinations finished off. That includes Troy, who have a couple days off before they take on Middle Georgia State.
Yeah, more practice coming, and one thing you can appreciate from Kelvin Sampson, his group shored up a lot of those mistakes they had on the defensive boards. The rotation, the toughness was there. Hats off to Troy. Those young men are frustrated, but they came out here and they've been working tonight. But this second half, we got a lot more basketball left to go. But from a coach's standpoint, run your stuff, be tough. You're going into league play, you want to be sharp, and it goes for both sides.
Yeah, the Cougars will have Toledo, then Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and then that vaunted Big 12 schedule. 2:15 remaining in the game, and the Cougars up 28. Cordelius Jefferson on the floor for the first time. He wears 0 for Houston. And that ball is taken away in a steal. Layup attempt on the way and good. Conaway with the mid-court takeaway and finish.
Yeah, he leads the team in steals, and you see why right there. And thought he was going to go up for a jam for a second. He thought about it.
Here's Wilson at the elbow. No. Rebound grab by Thomas Dowd. Thomas is going to get a good night's rest back at the hotel, I can tell you that. He has had to go against some really big guys for Houston. And a pass to the free throw line intended for Rodarius Jones was grabbed and then immediately fouled.
Yeah, the physicality has toned down a bit, but that first half was special. Mercy Miller going over there to talk with Kelvin Sampson, and for him it's the defense. The offense is there, but defensively going to have to pick it up. And
Kelvin Sampson doesn't carry what your last name is, your first name, how highly you were recruited. When you become a Houston Cougar and you're a freshman, you play by the Sampson freshman rules.
Winning basketball, that's how you win. Kelvin Sampson is a winner, and that's why it's called accountability. And I'm telling you, it's going to pay off for Mercy Miller. And again, he is one of the more talented scorers, if not the most, on this ball club. But he's going to have to pick things up, and just a young freshman.
Jones makes both free throws, 62-38 now, down 90 seconds remaining in this game. Cedric Lott is in for the first time. Wilson looked to deliver the basketball to somebody. Instead, he just let the ball trickle off his hands. That's a Houston turnover.
Yeah, got into no man's land. And, for Kelvin Sampson, doesn't like that turnover, but he's like, hey, play some defense. This is where you earn minutes, is on this side of the floor.
Speaking of turnovers, a frustrating night for Troy. They've got 12 turnovers. They matched their number of field goals made. 12 turnovers, 12 field goals. Dowd to the baseline right for Campbell, who's bumped by Jefferson. So Jefferson comes in the last few seconds, turns the ball over, and then commits the foul. 59.8 seconds remaining.
If you notice one thing, the intensity hasn't changed.
Are you kidding me? With these young men getting a little bit of playing time late, they are fighting and scratching for every single second they can get on the floor.
And for Kelvin Sampson, minutes are not given, they are earned. So he's very valuable time to be on the floor and, trying to crack the rotation. But again, you do it with defense. You can care less about your offense.
Braden Whitaker is one of those players for Troy. He's in for the first time tonight. Down to a minute remaining here. It's time for Tita Center. Wilson at the midcourt logo. Gets a screen from Lott. Straight away for Jefferson. That's an air ball. And it's going to trickle out of bounds. Last touch off of a foot, I believe. Grabbing it last was Terrence Arsenault, or at least trying to.
Yeah, Jefferson's got to stay in that shot. You saw him fading away on that three. That's why he ends up airballing. Stay in that shot. He's going to at least give yourself a chance.
40 seconds remaining. Cougars are going to improve to 6-3. The Trojans will fall to 5-4. If you're Scott Cross, you're happy with the performance of the second half. Much more competitive than it was the first 20.
Yeah, and can't say they matched the physicality, but they weren't bothered. They were shooken in the first half, clearly. Oh, my goodness.
Another block shot. My goodness. Cedric Lott got in there, but they're going to call a foul. Lott's like, please let me have that swipe. He does not get it on the foul called on Cornelius Jefferson.
Yeah, look, this is a double block there. And Dowd turns the corner, and he's, his life is flashing before his eyes, man. But you go to the hole against Houston, man, and you are going to think twice, I tell you that much. And Kelvin taking a seat, leaning back in his chair. Job well done.
So Jefferson in for 2 minutes and commits the 2 fouls. The free throw goes up and in to make it now 62-40.
Dowd's got a nice game too. Leads the team in rebounding. Pretty crafty and decent athlete.
He just physically can't stay with the low post players of Houston, but he's done the best he can here so far tonight.
Yeah, there's only so much he can do. JoJo Tugler didn't come back after those fouls, but that's a matchup right there.
So the home winning streak for the University of Houston will grow to 27 games, and they'll do it tonight with a 20-point win over the Troy Trojans. Final score, Houston 62 and Troy 42. As the Cougars